I've been able to make over $700,000 online selling AI to local businesses. This is one of my dashboards. This is another one of my dashboards. I can hit the refresh on both of them for you. That way you know I'm legit. Look at my loads, so slow. There you go, $46,000 and 620. Oh, this is the wrong account. 620,000 there, and we have a lot of PayPal, a lot of wires, even crypto transfers. So you're gonna have to believe me on that. And I've been able to make all of this selling AI to local businesses. Now, a lot of you can say, "Hey, Nick, like I see the dashboard, you've made the money, but how do I know it's selling to local businesses?" Now, I want you to go and ask your favorite influencer and your guru and everybody online who claims to make money a certain way to show you what I'm about to show you right now. This is my Slack channel with all of my clients in here, where we are about to onboard 2 more, so you'll be missing those channels as well. You'll see all of the inspections that we book for every single one of them. You can see the channel and the communication with all of our clients. This is the shit that you need to ask your favorite influencers and your favorite gurus online to show you this. And I'll show you the ad account that we have for every single one of our clients. I'm going to blur out all the sensitive information, but as you can see here, these are the ad accounts that we're running, the cost per lead for this client. This is another ad account for one of our clients. This is a much higher performing client. We're at $33 per lead right now with about a 75% self-booking rate. So a lot of you might be asking, okay, why am I showing you this? It's not to flex, it's to prove that I know what I'm talking about and that I actually do what I say I do. In this video, I'm gonna be walking through the entire step-by-step process of everything that I did from start to finish to be able to do $700,000 online at the young age of 20 years old. Now, I'm going to be breaking down everything I've done and also the things that I did that I wish I hadn't done, so that you know, okay, this is the process and what worked and also what didn't work. That way you can avoid those mistakes. You can save tens of thousands of dollars of money and lots of time. Now, the reason why I show this to people and I post my content and what I do online is, number one, to give back. I always believe in you give. Whatever you give, you will receive in return, and even more. So that's the first reason. The second reason is 99% of people who are watching this video and 99% of people who take and watch or are given something for free will never take action on it. So if you're willing to watch a 20-minute video that could potentially change the course of your life, stick around, give it 20 minutes, speed it up if you need to in 1.5x. I know everybody's brain is fried from watching shorts and rotting all day, but give me 20 minutes and your life can change, okay? So the business that we are going to be going after is an AI agency. So we're going to be using the traditional SMMA model, but we're going to be combining and kind of using AI to have a unique mechanism and that kind of flashy new AI thing, okay? The first thing we're going to start off with is picking our niche, okay? Before we even look at offer, we're going to pick our niche. Now, the reason that we do that is because your offer can vary a ton based on your niche. You need to do market research. You can't use the same offer for every single niche. There's certain businesses that are going to need certain problems solved, and it really depends on the business itself, okay? It's not just everything's going to work for everybody. Turn the light on for you back there. So let's get this started. Now, niche, okay? I've organized this into 3 different categories. Now, the reason that I have it in 3 different categories is on difficulty level, how difficult it would be to start in each one. The easiest group that you're going to see is going to be the home service group, okay? Then the second is going to be professionals, and the third is going to be info product. The reason home service niche is going to be in that group of niches is going to be the easiest is because they are the least tech savvy and they are a much older audience, which means they're not used to this new technology. AI is a very complicated thing to them. They can't really comprehend it. They don't have any marketing or tech skills. So that is why this is going to be the easiest, because the skill to adapt and learn and sell to these businesses, the value is going to seem so much higher because it's something they could never do. Okay. So home service is going to be number 1 to break into. Now, these 2 could make you a lot more money if you were to break into it, because it is harder to fulfill for these people, which means they're willing to pay more, right? So the professionals, lawyers, accountants, dentists, doctors, you are essentially working with people who have a PhD, have passed the bar, or even gone to med school. So very high intellectual people, very education-based, so they might be looking for qualifications, or if you don't have any qualifications, at least some sort of experience. So that's why it's going to be hard to break into this, because they are, professionals in a professional niche. And the reason why info products is going to be the hardest, and I have it at the bottom here, is because these people are literally glorified media buyers. Most of the people that you're talking to that are coaches, consultants, e-commerce, SaaS, marketing agencies are a one-man team with AI, and they do everything on their own. So they're very, very they're very independent, and they are very tech savvy usually because they're doing everything in their business. Now, this is the niche. We are going to, and I'm going to suggest you break into home service, okay? You go into one of these niches: plumbers, electricians, construction, pool opener, HVAC, roofers. You could even look into sub-niche like tree removal. There's a bunch of other like niches within the niche. The more niche specific you can go, the better and the more success you're going to see short term. And then eventually you can expand, okay? Once you fulfill for one home service guy and you've locked down for a niche, it's usually kind of a similar process. You just have to change and tweak things around. You don't want to overcomplicate by targeting a bunch of businesses to start, because that is how you're going to fail very quickly and give up very quickly. So we're going to go after a home service, whatever, plumbers, electricians, construction, okay? Now your offer, the 3 pillars of business, no matter what niche you're going after, you have to solve these problems in order for them to see a return on investment working with you, okay? If they don't see these things, they are not going to see a return. They're not going to, if you can't show the clear value of a business of, okay, I put $1 and I get $3 out, especially in the beginning, you are not going to be able to succeed. Even if whatever you're doing, whatever AI product you're selling works amazingly, if that business is not profiting off what they're paying you, they're never going to stay. So your most important goal when building your offer and constructing your offer is understanding, how am I going to generate leads for this business? How am I going to turn those leads into appointments? And then how am I going to close deals? You need to find a way to bring money upfront for this business and have them profit working with you. If you can make a business profit working with you, they are going to stay on forever. They're going to give you referrals, and your life's going to be amazing. Your business is going to scale like crazy. So the 3 pillars: getting leads, getting appointments, closing deals. For lead gen, we're going to look into ads, okay? We're going to look into Facebook, Google, Instagram ads. You could also break into generating leads through buying lead lists. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it now with AI as well. Social media content, like organic marketing. There's a bunch of different ways, hiring content agencies, working through a referral system, a bunch of ways. We're going to stick to running ads through Google, Facebook, Instagram, okay? That's what I do. That's what I've been able to do to, do these numbers. So that is what we're going to explain, and I'm going to walk through in this video. I'm only going to talk about what I have done and then give some other recommendations as well if you want to break into that. Now, for generating appointments, we're going to use a mix of AI and human. For the calling side of things, you are going to call yourself all of the leads for your clients. The volume is going to be low enough to where you can do that to start, and you're going to use AI chat bots to do everything on the communication side. So in the DMs, on text, on email, it's going to be an AI bot. Now the AI bot that we're going to use is going to be a bot called CloseBot. Okay, CloseBot AI. There's also AppointmentWise, which is another good one. AppointWise. Okay, this is another good AI chatbot that you can use for the DM side of things, okay? And then if you really want to integrate AI callers, I would suggest using Retail AI. This is something as well that you can use, and that could be an upsell potentially. I would say the technology isn't there yet in terms of consistency and in terms of relying on AI, maybe as sort of like a call transfer feature where you have this AI who's initiating the calls, so there's a large volume, and then they're just transferring that to humans. I think that's a good way to get around it. But to start, I would just do humans, and then on the phone, and then texting is the chatbot, SMS, and whatever. And DMs. And then for the closing side of things, we're going to do a couple different things. Okay, you can choose one of these. The main thing that I recommend, especially if you're breaking into home service, is a CRM implementation. So you're integrating and setting up a CRM for these businesses, because most of them are on paper. Okay, especially the ones who are doing like under 600K a year. These guys are literally pen and paper. They have no CRM. They have no systems, and that's why they aren't able to scale. Even if you give them tons of appointments and they're closing tons of deals, without a proper system and CRM in place, they're not going to be able to scale long term. Now, a CRM that I recommend for home service businesses is Jobber. So as you can see here, this is a CRM literally made for home service businesses. You can learn how to set this up for your customers in like 2 hours. And this could be literally another upsell you're charging $2,000 for. Okay. And they are more than happy to pay for it. And the amount of value, that you're giving them with this is way more than $2,000. It could literally help their business scale to millions per year by having the system in place. Now, how are we going to fulfill on this offer? This is the current process that I use in my business. Now, I want to keep in mind, and I'm going to recommend and suggest to start, you do not use this process. I suggest that everything that's being done in your business right now on the fulfillment side of things, at least for the first 3 clients, should be done completely by you. There's a couple of different reasons. Number one is training purposes. The biggest thing that business owners get wrong is hiring on an employee and throwing things at them and expecting them to do it perfectly as how they want it. Now, the first thing that's unrealistic about that is, if you don't know how to do it properly, how are you going to train somebody to do it properly? Even if they are an expert, there will never be an expert on the specific things that you require in your business and how you want things done, okay? So by doing it yourself, you are going to understand the process to where then you can pass it, delegate it on, create training systems so that the expert who does know a lot more about that can integrate it and do it the way that you want it implemented in your business. That is what I'm going to recommend. For everything to start, you learn it yourself. If you are unaware of exactly how to do that, start with a white label agency. Okay, let them work for you. Take what they're using, learn it yourself, follow the process along with YouTube videos and free tutorials you can find online, and then create trainings based on that, and then use this final financial arbitrage process, which is you have contractors available. Now, the way that you could set that up is you go on Upwork, upwork.com/nx/search talent, and I'm going to show you what you can do here. So right here, you can actually look at posts for talent. So let's say I'm looking for an AI developer or a media buyer, okay? I would search a media buyer here, and I could see everybody's costs, their job success rate, how much they've earned for their clients, a breakdown, the profile, their location, pretty much everything about this person. And what you can do is you don't actually have to pay these people to get in contact with them. You can get in contact. You can get like 4 of these guys lined up, ready to go, explain to them your situation. Hey, I'm going to have some clients coming through and they require this and this and this. Is that something you're interested in? And then what happens is you don't pay them up front. There is no risk to you. You wait until the client has paid the money. You then allocate funds to a contractor. So you set aside a portion of the money that the client gave you to pay for this contractor. Then the contractor performs that service. So they're fulfilling the process. Okay, you can pick from all the people and say, hey, I have this and this client that came through. You have the funds that you allocated. The contractor performs that service. The service is delivered to the client. Like I said, you can have 3-4 guys lined up. So if they aren't doing the job, you can negotiate some sort of success rate where they don't get paid if they don't succeed. And then service delivered to the client, you retain majority of the funds, and it allows you to work on the fulfillment process of things with an expert, pass on the trainings that you learned by doing it yourself, and then also giving you time to where you don't have to do that for every single client that's coming on. You save time, you make a lot of money, you're delegating it to somebody else who's doing it better, okay? And it gives you time to focus on other things of the business, scaling the ads, managing, etc. Okay, that's the point where you want to be, where we're at right now, okay? That's where I'm at right now. So every single time a client comes on, the process is pretty much completely automated. On the new agency, not yet. On the old one, it's literally like I'm barely touching anything. So like client success managers onboarding, talking to them, speaking to them, helping. We have people on the phones. We have AI dialing. Like I'm literally just managing. So that is how we're going to fulfill on this process. Okay, now specifically, how are we going to fulfill? So once again, I told you, I recommend using a white label agency for your marketing. You can literally just search up white label marketing agencies. By the way, I don't know why it's set to Yahoo, so I'm going to fix that. So you search up white label marketing agencies, and there's just so many things that there's like your label.ca, Green Lotus marketing, digital marketing agency, white label agency. There's like a Ninja one, which is really good as well. So that's how you could fulfill. Also, there's a bunch of YouTube tutorials of ads. I also break down exactly how we run our ads on my YouTube page. So subscribe and go find that video on my channel. For all of our clients. So that's what I would recommend for that if you don't know how to run ads already. Then for the AI developer thing, it is once again like a YouTube tutorial type thing, as well as hiring a contractor and kind of learning from him. And then for the VA and the sales script, like you could literally watch a Jobber setup tutorial for how to set up a CRM system and integrate it for this client. Okay, very, very simple. You could literally do this all today very, very easily. Now, how much do we sell it for? There's 2 ways that you can go about it. You can build recurring revenue, or you can get a lot of upfront cash. Now, personally, what I suggest always to start is you're going to charge upfront as much as you can. You need the money to scale. You need the money to be able to pay for talent, to be able to scale your ads, everything. And also, your fulfillment process is not guaranteed to work. So if you sign on a client and they pay you $2K a month, right? After 5 months, you're going to be making more than an upfront payment. But the odds of you keeping on a client for 5 months, especially your first 5, is very, very low. So you want to maximize on how much money you can make. So charging as much as you can upfront. $10,000 for what I just broke down is not unheard of, and a lot of businesses would be willing to pay that, especially if you're succeeding and helping them make more. And that would include 3 months of support. You could charge like a retainer after that. But once again, like at that point in time, then you should switch to a full retainer model instead of an upfront, or like a mix. So you do like a $3,000 upfront setup fee, or $4,000 or $5,000 upfront setup fee, and then a 2.5K retainer. Right now, all we do is we have a 2K retainer to a 5K retainer. That's what we have. So if you're wondering exactly what we do, and then our client is covering ad spend and some of the software expenses. We cover like a little bit. It's like $20 a month or something, but everything else they're covering, like the phone number that we purchase for them and the text messages that go out. It's pretty much all the software fees that they're paying, right? So what are the profit margins like? Now I'm going to use the profit margins as if you were paying a contractor, not an employee. A contractor, you're going to have lower margins than if you're paying an employee, because you can pay an employee a salary instead of a per project basis, which means let's say you're paying a contractor $500 per project and you're having 4 projects per month. Eventually you could bring him on and pay him a $2,000 salary and get him to do 6 projects per month. So you'd be paying $1,000 more if he was a contractor because you're paying him per project. So your margins with contractors is going to be 66%. 1,500, so this is the 3 months that you're having, the 10,000 upfront, including the 3 months. You're going to have the $1,500 you're paying to the white label agency. 500 per month is like, if don't pay more than 500 per month for a white label agency. $1,000 for the AI dev. This is very high. I would say you can get away with about $500 for the AI dev, and then $300 for the VA is pretty good, just for a simple CRM setup. I once again don't recommend. You can do this on your own. You don't even need a VA, at least to start. So yeah, good margins, 66%. Just so you know, average restaurant, if you're looking at starting a restaurant instead of an AI agency, it's about 3 to 5% margins. So just to give you an idea of how good that is, 66% margins is absolutely unheard of. Okay, so now that we have everything, we have the niche, we have the offer, we have how to fulfill for this offer, we have specifically how to fulfill, how much to sell for, and what the profit margins are. How are we actually going to sign clients for it? Now, we're going to be using Facebook ads. Okay, we're going to be using Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, if you don't have the budget to run Facebook and Instagram ads, stop. Don't start a business. You are going to just drown yourself in debt. You are going to eventually get very stressed out, backed into a corner, and force yourself to make decisions that don't make sense at the time. It doesn't make sense. Make enough money to where you have a nice little cushion and you can run ads comfortably, because things are going to go wrong. Not everything is going to go perfect. You're going to need to spend maybe a couple $1,000s before you sign your first client, just because if it was that easy, everybody would do it. Okay, I'm going to break down the best way that I can so that you can profit as quickly as possible, but every niche, every location is going to be completely different, okay? Especially if you're doing it completely on your own. If you have mentorship, it's a different story. You could see profit very quickly within a few $100s, because you're paying for somebody who has many years of experience doing the thing that you want to start doing right now. So that's one thing I recommend. Stop, work a job, save up the money. The best thing I would say is working a job in an agency that's already doing really well, because then you know exactly what to do when you're starting yours, especially later on down the line, and the things that you need to know. So yeah, stop, work a job, do something and save some money. And then what you're going to do is, for the copy, the headline, the primary text, the script, we're going to use ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT 5 just came out, and it is better than 90% of designers for image generation, for headlines, for copy. There's even custom GPTs. I can show you right now, like Alex Hermosi, where you can literally have an Alex Hermosi GPT that you're talking to, which is really, really cool. So as you can see here in custom GPTs, you can go to Hermosi and Alex Hermosi AI persona. So you get one-on-one with Alex Hermosi, and you can click here and literally tell him, I wonder, does he have 5? Make me copy for my ad targeting solar companies. I run ads for them and use AI to help achieve and give them more bookings. I need a headline, primary text, and script copy. So you're literally talking to Alex Hermosi directly, GPT. They literally plugged in thousands of pieces of information of his books, his podcasts, everything. So it's super cool. You can break down everything there very easily, better than most copywriters. And then the creative, there's 2 ways that you can go about it. So you can use a UGC video, and I personally recommend using Google Flow. So Google Flow is Gemini, so VO3, and you can do image and video generation. Also, ChatGPT 5.0 is very good as well. It's making me sign in here. And you can make AI UGC videos where it's AI talking to the camera. Eventually, and what we're having our client do actually right now is a UGC video of them talking to the camera. So it's one of our actual clients, and we obviously paid them a little bit to do that. And them talking to the camera and saying, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah from company name. If you are looking for more estimates for Insta AI, I recommend working with them. Those are the best ads. Those are going to be 100% the best ads. Obviously, you need to perform and have successful clients to do that. But, for now, it's okay. You can use AI. That's what I did, and generated us like $400,000 using AI, so it's okay. Or you can use a demo call. You could preview your product, walking through what the process would look like. This works best on like a YouTube video, like long form content. Kind of like what I'm doing right now, except you would break it down for your client, mainly because you want to nurture them long term. A short explanation video might just confuse them, so you got to be careful with this. Okay, if you're going to do that, it would be like just a quick preview of the entire process, maybe the AI speaking to the phone, then a video of like the AI chatbot texting, confirming the appointment, and then it plugging into the calendar automatically. That would be a cool preview that could definitely make a lot of money and do really well. Now, what happens after they click on the ad? There's 2 ways that you can go about it. So usually what we're doing, no matter what, is you want to click and use a Facebook lead form. So you want to capture the leads info. That way we can nurture them long term, send email, SMS, nurturing them, reminding them of, if they're to book a call. We want to have their information. Sometimes you'll have clients who will fill in the form and they'll close 6 months later. And if we hadn't nurtured them, if we hadn't reminded them, if we hadn't stayed in touch, they would have lost it. We'd have lost out on 10 grand, right? So you want to make sure that you're capturing info and then sending them to a VSL. Now, typically what you can do is you have two choices. If you have a lot of volume coming through, you could put some more friction in between the lead and the people coming through by adding a VSL page in the beginning. Now, I personally don't recommend this to start because your budget's going to be low in the beginning. So you're going to want to send them directly to the booking page. You send them to the booking page. They pick a time. You ask them a bunch of questions about the business, the guaranteed return on investment, how much money they have to spend, if they've watched the pre-call video, what bottlenecks they want us to solve, and do they honor showing up. And then they get redirected to a short 93-second thank you video where it just explains what we do, what to prepare for the call, to make sure that they're showing up on a laptop. Also, make sure that they confirm the appointment reminder. They click yes on the email so that they're showing up on the call. And then once again, a VSL. Now, this is a longer VSL. As you can see, it's 25 minutes. Usually, to start, all you need is a 93-second thank you video. For the 25-minute VSL, it might be a more advanced audience if you're going for like the info product owners or professionals. But for home service, all you need is this 93-second video and then just breaking it down a little bit better on the call. So this is what I would recommend. Now, the problem that we see most of the time coming through, even if you're sending them straight to the booking page, okay, without sending them straight to the VSL, is you'll have a 1 to 3% booking rate of cold leads, so self-booking rate of cold leads. So that means you're generating 100 leads, you're capturing 100 leads info, and 1 to 3 of them are self-booking, which is absolutely terrible. You'll never profit on ads if that's what you have. So you need to make sure that we're increasing this to 10 to 15%, 10 to 20. Higher the better, of course, but we want to be around that range. Now, the way that we're going to fix that is by using exactly what we're selling these businesses, right? It's an appointment setting campaign flowchart. You have the SMS nurturing sequences going out. You have the chatbot in there that's communicating, texting, making sure that they're qualified, answering their questions, and then booking them in. You have the AI appointment setter or you phone calling, and then you have the email nurturing sequences. That's how you're going to be able to increase your booking rate by 10 to 15% on top of the self books, okay? And it just leaves it to the sales call, okay? Breaking down, making sure that they understand the value, especially for home services. It's not an emotional sell. It's all logical, statistical, number-based. You put $1 in, you get $5 out. Here are 3 case studies proving that. Here's what we're going to do exactly for you, okay? Really as simple as that. So yeah, that was pretty much the entire video, breaking down everything that you need to know if you want to start doing this today. Now, from my YouTube video, lots of people, you can go right now and you can start doing this completely on your own without any help. I do have an opportunity for those who are willing to invest in themselves. You can work with me one-on-one, with my business partner. We take an entire audit of your business. If you haven't started, we literally work and create the offer completely from scratch for you, and we break down and guarantee your success. If that's something you're interested in, I'll have the application link in the description below. You will have to go through an extensive application process. We only work with a certain amount of people. Like I said, I don't want to work with time wasters. I don't want to work with people who are not committed in themselves, because like I said, it is essentially like we are going to be a part owner in your business and business partners. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, click on the first link and the only link in the description below to apply. If not, watch some of my other YouTube videos. You'll have lots of value, and I'll see you in the next one.